Let's talk about smart contracts or virtual deposit contracts. More importantly, let's talk about Gandhiji. Now, I'm making this video for one primary reason. I think this is a solid contract, and I say I think just like I think proof of weekends is a solid contract. I'm not a developer. I'm not, good at reading smart contracts. I encourage you to read your own smart contract, but the main reason that I'm doing this is I think that it's probably a solid project, a solid clone, if you will, and I don't have a problem that it's a clone of proof of weekends. That doesn't bother me at all. The main reason I'm doing this is for thank you to Gandhiji. This guy has been, the name is Gandhiji, Gandhiji. And if you ever look at my comments, he's typically one of the first people to comment on a video. And lately, for the past, weeks, he's been commenting on almost every video. We're at 100. Where is it at? We're at 150. We're at 250. We're at 300. We're at 600. We're at 900, 1200, 1600, etc. And he's talking about the amount of Ethereum that's in the contract. These smart contracts, I think, really are the future. And if you're in the cryptocurrency space and you don't understand smart contracts and how these really virtual deposit contract, to coin another YouTuber, it's really a better name for it. It's a virtual deposit contract. If you don't understand how these work, let me just explain it, and then we're going to go through this webpage a little bit. And I'm going to tell you, let me just say up front, I am not invested in Gandhiji, if I say that right. Oh my goodness. I'm not invested in this project at all, and I don't have any problem explaining why. It's personal preference for now. But I will tell you this, I don't have a problem. I'll tell you what I like about this project, and I'll tell you what I don't like about the project. But don't be getting offended if you're watching my videos. If you're easily offended, this channel is not for you. Click off of it, don't ever come back. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down button, unsubscribe, goodbye, good riddance, don't come back. On my channel, I often attempt to be objective, although I admit that I'm obviously biased in anything that I'm personally invested in. But if I have people that get upset because I say something negative, one of my last videos I said something negative about Tron, and a video before that I said something negative about Tron, and people always get their panties in a bunch when you say something negative. But I am overall optimistic and positive about Tron, and I am going to be an investor in Tron. I can look at something and not be a total fanboy. I can see the negatives. Part of my investment style is what are the opposition? What is the negative that I face? And am I still willing to invest and move forward? And so I can obviously do the same thing. I can tell you things that I like about projects that I'm currently not invested in. And I'm going to tell you that right now about Gandhiji. Now, if you don't understand this virtual deposit contract, which I think is the best term ever created to explain how these contracts work, they're simply a smart contract. In this case, both of these contracts are on the Ethereum blockchain. And the way that they work is it's just a mathematical smart contract. Every single time that you use the exchange, and that you buy, where is the exchange at here? Oh, right here. It's not showing up well, but there's the exchange. I don't have my MetaMask open, but every time you come to the exchange, it would probably show up if I had MetaMask open, but every time you come to the exchange, you buy tokens from the exchange. In this case, let's see here. You would buy the tokens for 92 cents roughly. You'd buy them for 0.006712 ETH. And when you sell them for 0.005491 ETH, which is roughly 92 cents and 75 cents right now. So that's the current price. And of course, as more people buy the tokens, the actual token, the way the contracts work is the token price goes up as more people buy the token. And as people sell the token prices go down. But at the same time, as people buy and sell, there's a fee, just like with proof of weekends. It's the exact same identical concept, just on a different contract. And so in this case, every time you buy and sell, there's a 10% fee. And it goes to all of the other token holders. There's just, the difference is this current contract's only at $1,900. You can see that as an opportunity. You can see that as a risk. It doesn't matter. I currently see it. It just is what it is. There's pros and cons depending on your viewpoint. But if you're looking for something and you want to get in early in the smart contract space, this might be the thing for you. I think their approach, I don't understand what they're doing totally different. I mean, I think I have an idea of what the purpose in this contract is. I think it's just going for a more pure approach, a straight smart contract. You see, Proof of Weak Hands 3D, they have the decentralized website. So they have the decentralized website, which shows you all the different dApps that there are that exist that interact with Proof of Weak Hands 3D. Now, part of what happens with a lot of these dApps, particularly what happened with FOMO 3D up here, and again, this is if you're brand new in the space and you don't know this, it created a huge spike in the contract. A lot of people bought in, a lot of people sold, in the contract. And I think the idea behind the Gandhiji contract is they're not going to create a lot of those dApps, and they're just going for more of a pure smart contract, kind of a pure Ethereum savings account, kind of you're trying to create more of a bit of a monetization of the blockchain, I believe. Now, this is all early stage stuff. Don't think this is like going to take over the world tomorrow, but this sort of smart contract stuff is extremely, extremely fascinating. There's not enough people aware of this in the crypto space, and there's not enough people even thought about the real world applications for something like this. Now, I encourage you, if you want to, if you want to invest in something like this, first of all, come to look at the contract, read the FAQs. We'll go through some of this now. The FAQ. Is this a real thing? Yes, the Gandhiji Smart Contract and the IND tokens are built on the Ethereum blockchain. They're real on the Ethereum They are real on the Ethereum network. Wasn't there supposed to be something similar to this earlier? Yes, there are several variations of the scheme. Gandhiji is the next step forward, with it being the only one that has no owner. This means only Gandhiji is in charge. He cannot be corrupted by any human. And when they say Gandhiji, I think they're talking about the smart contract. The idea behind the idea, I think, behind this one is that there's lead developers with Proof of Weak Hands, and again, I think this is just about trying to be just a smart contract where no one monkeys with it, and just kind of seeing where the future of it goes. Is Gandhiji secure? Yes, a lot of time went into refining and testing Gandhiji's contract to make sure your tokens are safe. Internal functions of the contract are not accessible to the end user. What do I need to buy into this mathematical strategy game? You need to install MetaMask and also need to buy some Ether, probably from something like Coinbase. Are you planning to steal Ethereum? We're hurt that you had to ask. No, there's no way for Gandhiji or any participant to withdraw the Ether from any other participant. So exactly what happens with the IND token that I buy? Okay, this is the important part. Every time somebody buys or sells an IND token, the price changes by this amount, higher upon buy, by this amount, lower upon sell. If you keep your tokens where they are, you receive 10% from every buy or every sell transaction based upon your current share of tokens. You can convert your current token stash into Ether, where it will sit in your dividends pool. Your dividends are stored in Ethereum, not in tokens. So their value remains stable as long as, this is a big if by the way, as long as the Ethereum price itself remains stable, because that has not been the case. However, once you're converted your tokens, you won't be gaining any dividends. And if you want back in, you'll need to either purchase more or simply convert your dividends pool straight back into tokens. Sounds interesting. Can you tell me more? Gandhiji mitigates the risk of fast dumping by penalizing sellers for doing so. If there's a sell-off period, you will still be collecting dividends as well as gain a larger portion of the total token market share in the process. If buy-sell cycle occurs, the token holders will still collect dividends off the sales. In addition to gaining a larger portion of the total token market share in the process, this way, those who attempt to time the market and perform swing trades, sell high and rebuying in low, will be risking a lot and losing out on soaking up all those precious dividends. If you'd prefer to sit back and play it safe, you will profit off the madness of the greedy whales and weak-handed alike. This is important. If there's a sell cycle, this way, those who attempt to time the market, perform swing trades, selling high, rebuying low, will be risking a lot and losing out on soaking up all those precious dividends. This is important, and personally, we'll come back to that. So I should definitely get into debt to play this game. No, you should never get into debt in anything related to crypto. You most certainly should not be putting anything you can afford to lose on this. Please do not consider this to be anything other than what it intends to be. Gandhiji is a proof of concept turned global. Do not put anything in here that you are not immediately willing to treat as lost. So what is it that you guarantee exactly? Nothing. The risk is entirely yours. Good luck, have fun, and remember, don't do anything you'll lose sleep over. That's true. They also have a Discord and I believe a Telegram that's pretty active. You can go check those out if you have any questions. Now, let me just say this. I mean, I'll continue to watch Gandhiji because I think it's probably a solid smart contract. I think. I haven't read the contract, haven't reviewed the contract, don't even necessarily have the skills to do so. But I'm not investing into Gandhiji, and I'll tell you why I'm not, and I'll tell you why you may want to, and I can also give you some strategies or tips and some just really basic stuff anytime you're investing in crypto, particularly anything like this or proof of weekends. I'm not going to do it because I don't see developers leading this anywhere. I think they're going for this strictly purist aspect, which is fine, but I think there needs to be, I have a prediction. My prediction is this is going to go up for a while, then it will eventually come down, and then it will stall. Unless there's future development where, there's going to be utilities that interact with Gandhiji, and if that's coming down the pipeline, I'm going to pay attention to it. But unless that ever occurs, this is going to be dead on arrival because ultimately volume is going to settle down super low and super stable. Also, if they're going for the purist approach, honestly, I would have liked to have seen much lower fees in or out. The idea that, they discourage people from selling because there's a 10% fee, I actually think it's a good idea for people to sell. It's a good idea for people to buy. It's a good idea to have swings in the contract going up or down. That's how dividends are created, volumes created. My biggest complaint against proof of weekends for the longest time is that it's a 10% fee in and out. I think it needs to be smaller. I think it needs to be 5%, 4%, maybe even 3% or 2% even. Dare I say, I don't know what the exact number is, and that's the problem with this space. We wouldn't know what the exact number is going to be, but I think the number needs to be low enough that it's not a big deal to buy, sell, or transfer tokens. With that being said, if the smart contract space, if the reason to be here, it would be some form of diversification. That would be the single biggest reason, and to see if the developers or someone in the community develops something to interact with this contract in such a way that it has a much broader, better utilitarian use case, not just gaming. Gaming's interesting. Gaming has its place. That's awesome. But ultimately, I'm looking for a smart contract that's going to create some more solid utility purposes that could be very interesting, if you will. So I'm not going here yet. I'll keep an eye on it. I think, all the people that I know talking about it on YouTube, I respect. I think they're great people. As far as I know, I don't think there's anyone that has any, nefarious ideas or whatever. Gandhiji, I believe, is a developer himself. At least that's what it goes by on the internet. He has a YouTube channel. In fact, Gandhiji, when you watch this, if you will put your YouTube channel and your referral link for this contract in the comments, I'll pin the comments so people can check it out. However, ladies and gentlemen, just keep in mind, I'm not a part of this contract. You can join this contract, but it's at your own risk. The strategy that I would use, by the way, if I was going into this contract, same strategy I would recommend you do with Proof of Weekends 3D is when you enter, do one of two things. Either go in with a full position that you're comfortable with, meaning as big a position as you're comfortable with, and immediately start using the dividends to withdraw to offset your base. I don't recommend reinvesting right away. I recommend withdrawing, getting your original Ethereum out. So if you put 10 Ethereum in, keep withdrawing till you eventually get your 10 Ethereum out, which will take you a little while. Depending on how fast the contract grows, it might not take that long. But with that being said, once you get that Ethereum withdrawn, then you can reinvest or do what you want to. That's one strategy. The other strategy is come in, like one ETH at a time, over, every other week, every week, twice a week, whatever, come in with one ETH. Now, the problem with that strategy is the contract may continue to go up, 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 up. But I don't think it ever serves you to get greedy. So take your time to build a position. Once you get your position built, you got, say if your position is 10 ETH or whatever you're comfortable with, it might be 1 ETH in your case. Keep withdrawing until you get your original investment out. And then just reinvest, hang out, do what you want to. Always join the communities. Always join the Discord or whatnot. Here's what I can tell you about these smart contracts, these virtual deposit contracts. If you've subscribed to my channel, you've heard me talk about these often. If not, you need to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I talk about these contracts pretty regular, because I think there's such a massive use case potential for these contracts that nobody's even tapped yet. Nobody's tapped this yet. In fact, I actually talked about the best use case I know of for these contracts. I've talked about it, and I've actually made an entire video on it. And I'll put that video above in the card. You can go ahead and check out that video now. But I'll put that video above in the card. Watch that video and you'll see what I'm talking about. The potential on this, I believe, is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And you can watch that video and you'll see what I'm talking about, because nobody's talking about this. Absolutely nobody's talking about this. But the great thing about these smart contracts is you can look at the contract. You can come here, you can look at the contract. You can pay someone else to review the contract. You can do whatever you want to do your own research, but you don't got to worry about somebody saying they're doing something behind the scenes. No, you can look at it for yourself. This isn't like where someone claims that they've got, they're trading behind the scenes and they're paying you, 10% in, 10% out or something like that. You don't have to worry about that. That's not what's going on. It's not like everything's in the contract. All the proof is right there. You can take a look at it for yourself. So if you want to join this contract, please feel free to do so. The main reason I did this was just to expose a smart contract. Gandhiji has been supportive of this channel from day one. So really and truly, I'm just doing him a favor, getting bring awareness to this, letting you become aware of this, know what's going on in this space. Check it out. Check out the Discord. Sounds like it's a great group of people in there. You don't got to worry about people being mean or people being trying to ban you for asking legitimate questions. Now, don't go take up stupidness in there. Don't go up in there acting retarded. Go in there and ask questions if you've got questions. Listen to what people have to say. It's probably a great community of people to be a part of. Just because I'm not here doesn't mean that you shouldn't be here, and it doesn't mean you should. You get to make that decision yourself. Heck, you might want to join this smart contract just because you like the community of people that's over here. That's cool. If you want something that's totally purist in nature and there's not a lot of dApps associated with it right now, this might be the smart contract for you. You get to make that decision. Or you might want to diversify. Put one ETH here, put one ETH in Proof of Weekends 3D. That's totally up to you as well. But again, as soon as Gandhi comes over here and comments with his YouTube channel and his Gandhiji Smart Contract address, I'll pin his comment down below and you can take a look at it from there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. Give this channel a thumbs up if you like the smart contract space. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. And thank you for joining this crypto revolution.